y'all, it's Fortune Frankly and welcome to Fortune Frankly Fridays, where we do DIY home decor and more. So you might know April 22nd is coming up. And what is April 22nd? Earth Day. And we're just going to assume here that this is Earth's birthday, right? So we're going to do some things to celebrate it. In this video, we're actually going to be making DIYs from recycled materials, DIYs that help us reduce what we're using, and DIYs that actually use the earth itself. Was that like the shortest intro ever? You know I like to talk, because I could sit here and talk, honey. But with that being said, let's get started. For this first DIY, we're making some napkin rings. I feel like this is a really cute accessory to a nice like spring table setting. You know, I don't really have guests like that. You know, we're in a pandemonium still, but still, you know, I could dream. For this project, you'll need the inside of a toilet paper roll. Actually, what are these called anyway? It's called a core. Core, like the Earth's core. You see how the dots are connecting? Oh my gosh. Jute cord, faux leaves, and a glue gun. Starting with the core, we're gonna cut it in half. I was kind of scared to bend it, but you know, it'll take shape. Next, we're gonna use this jute cord. We're just gonna apply a little bit of glue on the inside to stick our string onto. And pull that string back and forth in through the core. We're basically just going to cover this whole core in the jute cord, wrapping it around and around and around. I'm actually using the jute from the Crafter Square line at the Dollar Tree versus the one that you find in like the automotive section, because this one is actually a lot more uniform in width throughout. And we'll apply some glue every once in a while just to make sure things are sitting nicely. And once you get to the end, you can cut the cord and make sure it sticks to the core. I'm sorry, but that was necessary. You know, I had to do another little core joke right there. And now it's time to glue our leaves. This is some faux eucalyptus, so I'm just gonna cut off a piece and glue it to the napkin ring. Then I'm gonna take some napkins and literally make it into the shape of a ghost and pull it through our napkin ring. You know, I'm talented, but not that talented that I can make like shapes with napkins and stuff. So the ghost is as good as it's gonna get right now, okay? For project número dos, we are making our very own market bag. And I'm just gonna tell y'all already, this is my favorite DIY in this video and probably one of my favorites on this channel. I love the way that this came out, and you can definitely use it for produce, like a traditional market bag. Or you could just use this like you would any purse or bag. For this project, you'll need 2 pieces of thick nautical rope and 10 pieces of the thinner nautical rope. At the Dollar Tree, they sell this nautical rope in 2 different lengths. The one on the left here is the thicker one, and it's shorter in length. The one on the right is thinner, but it's also longer. Just want to note that I actually got this pattern from a blog called Fall for DIY. I'll leave a link to the project in the description, but I did make a few modifications that you'll see here. Starting with the thicker rope, we're going to be making the handle of the bag. And we're going to use one of 2 knots that you'll need to know for this bag. And that is the double half hitch knot. Starting with the piece of string on the right, we're going to cross it over the left so it makes a backwards 4. Then we're going to take the string that's hanging down from the 4 and loop it behind the right string. Then we're going to do the same thing but on the opposite side, putting the left side over the right so that it makes a 4, taking the string that hangs down from the 4 and putting it through the loop we made and pull the knot tight. If you're confused right now, no worries. I'm gonna show you again, probably like 2 more times, but after that, I'm sorry. You're gonna just have to rewatch the video, okay? I'm gonna turn the knot so it's facing up and out of the way and move the excess string off to the side. Now taking the thinner piece of rope, we're gonna attach it to the handle using a lark's head knot. This knot is also known as the cow hitch knot, but yeah, there's a connection with earth there. So cows eat the earth, you know, grass. And we're gonna do this by overlapping the strings and pulling the ends of the thinner string we're working with through the loop that we just made. A little hard to explain, but I think if you watch, you'll be able to get it. Again, we're gonna do a double half hitch knot. First, by taking the string on the right, crossing it over the left so that it makes a backwards 4, and then pulling the string that hangs down from the 4 through the loop. We're gonna do the same thing on the opposite side, this time crossing the left over the right to make a forwards 4, and pulling that string that hangs down from the 4 through the loop. And we're gonna continue that down the line using 2 strings at a time. You want to make them even too so that you know your bag is looking cute, so you can adjust any knots as necessary. For the next row, we're going to skip that first string and move on to the next 2 strings. This will connect our ropes together so that there isn't a huge gap in our bag. And we're going to be doing the same exact double half hitch knot. Then on the 3rd row, we're going to go back using that first string and the 2nd string all the way down the row. And I'm going to do that process all over again so that we have 2 pieces. You know, you're going to need a front and a back to the bag. So now we're going to join them together. And before we join them together, we want to make sure the knots are facing the same way. So I'm actually going to flip this one over so that the knots are facing inside. Again, I'm going to put these strings out of the way. And now to join the bag at the sides, I'm going to take 1 string from one side and 1 string from the other side and do the same exact knot. And we're just going to go around the entire bag until we get to the other side and then also do the same knot on that one too. So now our bags are joined together and we're going to keep doing the same patterns all the way down. So at this point, I was like, this bag is looking a little large. Maybe it's going to be a beach bag. Maybe that's what it wants. But it was looking so large that I could fit inside the bag. And that's what I did. Yo, this bag fit me like a beach cover-up, so I thought about changing my whole plan. It just turned out that the space between the knots was too big, so instead of redoing everything, I just went back, loosened up the knots, and pushed them up a little bit. Now you can see our bag is open at the bottom, so we're going to work on closing it up, you know, so that you can actually put stuff inside. I'm going to take the 2 strings that correspond to the sides of the bag and lift those up out of the way. Then I'm going to take the next string on both the front and the back side of the bag and do the same double half hitch knot. Then I'm going to move on to the next 2 strings on the front and back and do the same thing again all the way down. Now bringing back down those strings that correspond to the side, I'm going to lift one up and do the double half hitch knot with the diagonal string from the back. Then I'm going to do the same in the opposite diagonal direction. And I'm going to do the same exact thing on the other side. And that finishes up the knots that we have to do, and we're just going to cut all the strings on the bottom so that they're even. And once we cut them all to the right length, I'm going to unravel them so that we have a little fringe going on. I think the fringe makes it look extra cute, but if you don't want the fringe, when you first put your halves together, make sure that the knots are facing outwards so that when you finish and you get to the bottom, you can actually turn this inside out to make your bag. Now working our way back up to the top, we're going to take care of these handles. I'm also going to cut them down and remove the excess rope that we have, then unravel the remaining rope to create a little fringe at the top too. For our third and final project, we are making an earth accented vase. Sounds fancy. I've actually seen this trend here on YouTube quite a bit, so I wanted to, see how it worked. For this project, you'll need a vase, black spray paint, and some dirt. But if you thought I was bringing a bowl of dirt into my house and onto my workstation, you thought wrong, okay? You're gonna have to wait till we get outside for that. Starting with our glass vase, we're just gonna give this 2 coats of black spray paint. Then we're gonna go outside and collect some dirt. I was not getting my hands dirty for this, the dirt was not gonna get under my nails, so I wore some gloves, I took extra precautions. It might be earth or not, but I walk on the dirt. I don't usually pick it up. I'm gonna pour a little bit of water in the dirt. It actually just rained, so the dirt was kind of moist, but I'm just gonna add a little bit more water so it's like a nice brownie batter consistency. Open up. That was gross. That was so gross. Okay, I know your mom gives you this speech all the time too. All the sacrifices that I did so that you can have a nice, entertaining Friday. And we're just gonna rub that wet dirt all over our vase. I'm actually gonna take some blobs of the dirt too and just press it on to that vase. I left it outside for actually like 2 days. When I built up the motivation to go outside and see if this actually worked, I just rubbed the dirt off and voila! An earth vase. Alright, welcome back. So like I said already, that market bag is my favorite DIY of this video and even of my channel. Maybe. It actually has some weight to it too, so it feels like substantial. But I'm curious to know, what was your favorite video from this project? And which one do you think you'll try next? If you're feeling lucky, you can go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. And if you're not feeling lucky, I'm so sorry, but I hope to see you again in the near future. I'm so grateful to all the people who watch this channel. I love that you're able to feel relaxed, have a laugh, because I'm funny, and learn how to do some DIYs all at the same time. I hope you're all staying safe out there, and as always, thanks for watching.